Hello, we are going to show you a new tool that is very useful in gvSIG. This is the coordinates capture tool. This tool is available at the view query option, query menu, and if you don't have it installed, you have to access to the tools, add-ons manager, installation by URL, you press next, and you can look for the plugin here. If you write COO, you can find this one, and I have it in green color because I have this plugin installed. But if you don't have the plugin installed on your gvSIG, you can mark this option and you press next, and after installing the plugin, you have to restart gvSIG. Well, I'm going to show you the functionality. Here I have two layers in a view in this reference system, and I'm going to access to the view query coordinate capture. I have this window, and there are two main options. The first one is the capture point tab, and we can copy the coordinates to the clipboard, and we can paste them in a document, for example. So this is the basic one. We can start point capture. This is the reference system, so we can click on view. We don't need a concrete view, a concrete layer. We can work on different layers because it's about on the view, the coordinates of the view. So after clicking, I get these coordinates. I can copy to clipboard, and then I can paste the coordinates to this document. I go back to gvSIG, and we also can change the reference system. For example, I'm going to select this one, geographic coordinates, WGS84, and if I click on any point on the view, I get the coordinates in latitude and longitude. So if I copy the coordinates, they are graphical coordinates. Well, after that, I'm going to show you the advanced functionality of this tool. This is the point management. The point manager, we can manage different points. We can save the points. And we can use them, the coordinates of these points, in several tools later. So I'm going to use, for example, these 3 points, and I'm going to save these points at this manager. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to zoom in, and I press here. Sorry, I'm going to change the reference system, the same one than the view, and now I get these coordinates. So I go to this tab, and I press this button. For example, point number 1. Well, I have this one. I'm going to the second one. Here, for example, I click here. I have the coordinates, and I'm going to save this one, point number 2. Well, and the third one here. Here I'm going to add this new point, point number 3. Well, I have the 3 points that I'm going to use in different tools later. We can copy any of them, for example, from here to the document, or we can edit the name of the point from here. We can also remove the different points. Well, I have these 3 points and I'm going to work with them in different tools. For example, I'm going to create a new layer. It will be a new shapefile. I'm going to save it in this folder, and the name will be lines, for example. This is the name of the shapefile. It will be a line shapefile. I'm going to add a field, and I'm going to add this layer to the view. So I have this one, and I'm going to start editing. I'm going to write a line from this point to this one, for example. So I can select the line tool, insert line tool, and I press secondary button and first point to add. So I can write the coordinates, or I can use the coordinates of that I have saved. For example, from number 1, okay, so I have this first point, and second point number 2. So I have this first line between two points that I have saved before with the coordinates. Well, this is the first tool where we can use the points that we have saved. This is the graphical editing. After that, we are going to show you, I'm going to finish editing, and I'm going to save this layer. Now I'm going to show you the geoprocessing tools that we can access from here, the toolbox. We have different tools where we can use points. For example, if I have in this case the main sections in Spanish, but here you can see the name of the different geoprocessing tools in English. So I'm going to look for this one. I'm going to use visibility. So I'm going to press double click. We are going to use the digital elevation model. It will be the method, and I'm going to press here to use the visibility geoprocess. I will use the coordinates of the point number 1, so I have the coordinates here. I don't have to write them manually. I'm going to write the height of the receiver emitter, the mobile, etc. Radius, it will be 15,000, and I'm going to save this layer to a temporary file. We can use the output region, for example the layer of the digital elevation model, and the cell size 25, for example. We press OK, and we are going to see from the point number 1 the visibility from this point. I'm going to apply, this is the raster file, I'm going to apply a color table here and 2 blues. So after accepting, we can see the points that we can see from this point, the visibility geoprocessing tool. I'm going to apply another one. For example, here we have line of sight, for example, from number 2 to number 1. We are going to calculate the line of sight. The digital elevation model, point number 2 to the point number 1. I have the coordinates of both points. The height of the points from 5 for here and 3 for the second point, for example, and the output region, the digital elevation model, and 25 for the cell size. So here I have, this is the first valley, and here we have the first mountain. We have 2 mountains, a second valley, this one, and from this point we only can see this part of the mountain in green color. Okay, and we have used the coordinates of the points for this geoprocess. Now I'm going to show you another one that will be for hydrological analysis. In this case, we need for hydrological analysis we need to apply another geoprocess before that is the thing filling. With this one we can remove the points that are under the points around these ones. So we're going to apply this geoprocess to a temporary file. We press OK, and we are going to use the new layer, the new raster file, for hydrological analysis. Well, we have the new file. This is this one, the preprocessed. So we are going to apply another geoprocess. It will be for profiles, the flow line profile. We are going to calculate the flow line from the point number 3, for example. So we have to select this layer, the preprocessed, after the last geoprocess. Here I'm going to select the point number 3, and we are going to save to temporary file, the point layer and the line layer. Well, here we have the profile, and here we have the line from this archaeological site, this point. And here we have seen how to work with geoprocessing tools with the coordinate capture tool in gvSIG. We are going to apply this tool in another geoprocess. For example, for the field calculator. In this case, we have the archaeological sites. They are the points. We are going to show you the attribute table. We are going to start editing first, and we are going to add a new column, a new field, for example the distance. We are going to allow nulls. It's only in this distribution because it's in stabilization phase, the time. So for the final version you will have this option marked by default. So I am going to press accept, and here we have the I'm going to remove it because it's a string. It's a string field. I'm going to add column again, the distance, and here I have to select the double field, allow nulls, and precision 3, for example. And now I'm going to use the field calculator to calculate the distance from the point number 3 to the rest of the archaeological sites. So for that I'm going to open the field calculator. This is the new window from gvSIG 2.5, the new version. We have this new window, and I'm going to use OGC, Open Geospatial Consortium. We have ST distance, and we have to fill in the two parameters. For example, the first one, the distance from the archaeological site geometry, so they are the points of the layer, and here I'm going to select the point number 3. In this case we have saved points, and I'm going to select point number 3. Double click, so we have the first point, each point of the layer, and the point number 3. I'm going to apply, and after accepting, I have the distance from the different points to the point number 3, and we can see that this is the minimum distance, so it's the point number 3, 0 meters, and the fast, this is 29, because it's the highest distance from the point number 3. So it's another case study, another tool where we can use the capture point, the coordinate capture tool. I'm going to finish editing, and I'm going to use another tool that will be the filter or selection by attribute. In this case, we're going to calculate, to select the points, the archaeological sites that are close to the point number 3. In this case, the points that are less than 25 kilometers. So, for example, the functions, OGC, the distance. Here I have to select the geometry of the archaeological site layer, the shapefile, and point number 3. I have to select saved points, point number 3. The distance from the point number 3 to the rest of the points have to be less than 25,000 meters. So new selection, and here we can see the archaeological sites that are in less than 25 kilometers from the point number 3. So here we can check. I'm going to close, and here we can check the distance, 21 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and 29 kilometers. So we can use the point coordinates capture to another tool, that is the selection by attribute. And I hope that it's very useful for you, and we will show you another tools in the following videos. Thank you very much.